Good morning, Cowboy Commons, here at the Las Vegas Convention Center South Hall East Lobby. The Cinch stage is packed with another morning of riveting content, entertainment, wisdom, knowledge, and talent. And it is time to get rolling. No, not time to get rolling. Time to get spinning this morning. Time for Tommy Joe and Kendra, No Spin Rodeo Rally.
Morning. I'm not going to say good morning, because for some of you it might not be a good morning. Morning. Episode 43. Thank you, all you podcasters that are listening to No Spin Rodeo. Thank you if you're watching this on the Cowboy Channel Plus app or on Ride Pass with Pluto TV. We thank you all very much for joining us here this bright and early morning. And we figured, I'm going to just say good morning. We've got Greg.
Morning.
Good morning. Miss Kendra, how are you this morning?
Good morning.
It's good morning.
It's a great morning, and any morning where we get graced with... This is the coolest guy in rodeo. Derrick Begay is the coolest guy in rodeo. And
Derrick?
you'll never hear it from him.
What's a cooler guy in rodeo than you, in your opinion?
Heck.
Uh-oh.
That I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a lot more.
See, he recognizes he's the coolest guy in rodeo.
No, he doesn't. That's what's so cool about him.
Hey, so frustrations are mounting, so we've got a couple video clips. Earlier this week, we want to show this. Give you a little setup. Traffic guards that walk people with the stop signs across the deal. I'm just going to put it this way. Take a look. Frustrations are really high in Vegas.
Yeah!
Wait, do that one more time, Greg. Can you start it over real quick? So, in case this is a traffic guard beating a car that went too fast with his stop sign. Here we go. Oh!
Yeah!
Hoo-yah! Then he leaves his stop sign. Now, this is the best part of it. He's walked off. He's done. He quit. I don't want to be a traffic cross guard anymore. And then the driver says, oh, well, thank you for the stop sign. I'm going to take it with me. Frustrations are mounting in Vegas, and evidently with a few no-spin fans, so I would be remiss if I didn't post this comment, which I'll let you read to me. Kendra, can you read that?
You want me to read it?
Yeah,
I haven't ever seen it before.
Well, then.
Okay, Lucia, get a nap or get it together. You are coming across as a pissy bitch. I love this podcast and enjoy hearing the inside scoop because I'm not out there this year. I've helped the guys in the back pens. They're all hands. I'm very disappointed that you are digging on that crew. Animals have bad days. A couple years ago, we couldn't get a horse to load that usually self-loads. I've sorted Corco horses. They're a little wild. I wouldn't blame a crew when you weren't even there.
Okay, now this did come in a little earlier, and hopefully, well, for one, join my wife and my family and my crew that call me a pissy bitch every day. Thank you for that, for reaffirming what I am at the core. But we did address this, and we don't dig on anybody. What we do is we tell what we hear, and then we give the other side a chance to respond to that, which we did. And the PRCA responded. We talked about the crews. So we're not digging on anybody. So you gotta listen. If you wanna learn, you gotta listen to what we're saying, because usually we're really not digging. We're just saying, hey, here's what we've been told. Here's the facts on it. So we did. You've probably heard it, and you know, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm a pissy bitch. Let's talk about our guest. I'm gonna let you set this up.
Okay, well, so Begay's here roping at his 11th NFR. He and his best friend, Coulter Todd, won the average here last year. This year was kind of unusual. Your first finals was 08.
Yes.
Who'd you rope with at your first one?
I roped with Victor Eros. He's a brother to George Eros and Caesar's uncle, De La Cruz.
That's cool. There are a lot of connections around. Well, Victor, okay, I want to take it back to what it was like to, I just want to jump in with him because, like, Victor and Myrtle's son, your sister Jamie is an NFR photographer here, Jamie Arviso. Her son, James Arviso, is going to be one of the next big things in the heading world, right? Yes.
No, he still has a lot. He still got some ways to go, so I ain't saying anything yet.
He's won a lot.
Yeah, he's done good for as far as he's kind of been now. So I'm proud of him. But I'm the uncle that we're not just real, yay, good job, like proud of you. We were always kind of raised. My dad was just kind of raised, old school, just never get too happy. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, he's happy inside in his heart and his soul and everything. I do know that, but as far as, I don't know if he ever told me, good job, son. I mean, just that. I mean, I know it's there, and I'm the same way with kind of James. He kind of has to prove his part first.
But that humility, that seems to just be part of you were born that way. It feels like. And you remind me a little bit of Champ, Clay Cooper, because you'll never hear it from him that he ever won anything. But I feel like you guys never think, there are people that walk around with the swagger, pun intended, with your great head horse swagger, but you don't. You don't have to tell yourself to be your mindset.
I got to tell myself some stuff inside. I mean, I got to tell myself I'm good. I got to tell myself I can do it, and I got to tell myself I say that to myself inside personally, but I don't, like you said, I don't try to go tell no one, or I don't try to go walk it, or I don't try to show someone, but I do. I mean, you have to. Every day you got to tell yourself that you can do whatever you want to do. So,
what do you consider the highlight of your career? Was it winning the NFR last year with your best friend?
Ooh. Oh, shoot. When you rodeo for so long, things kind of, they go away. It seems like there's a certain point 5-6 years ago, I probably could have said something would have come up pretty easy, but after that, you just kind of go and you rodeo, and it's just part of kind of what you do, and the accomplishments or the things you went along the way, they're there, they come, and then they're gone so fast. Like a year ago, Coulter and I, we win the average here at the NFR, and that would have to be one of the highlights, just because of who he is, and it's the biggest stage on rodeo, and the personal things that we both have in our life. That's what kind of means more to anything than stuff that people don't know. Just where we're at in our life and what we think, and we're not even rodeo guys, so it's that just it means something a little bit.
Well, and I don't know, that everybody remembers that Coulter was here as an NFR header for a few years, and then, very young, he had a wife and little kids. He just pulled up and went home to the ranch, and he never would have come back out of retirement had it not been to heal for, he's one of those rare few that's an NFR switch ender. How hard is that to do, by the way?
It's hard enough just to make it one time on the heading or the heeling, but to do what he did, it's hard. Guy's done it, obviously, so it is possible, and somebody else is probably going to do it again, but it's tough trying to make it in one event, and he was kind of a hero when I think he made the finals back in 2006. Is the first time he kind of made it, and this was when rodeo wasn't really out there. It was on TV every night, but as far as all these different platforms, and there was not a lot of access to those kind of guys, but he was a hero of mine watching. I used to watch him here at the NFR, and even though he was an Arizona guy, but the hype was still there, and I was still enjoyed watching him stay up late at night, trying to watch it the next day. So, but him to do what he did in the heading, to make it 3 years in a row and then just quit and be gone. away from it. Like stepped away, didn't go to any amateur rodeos, didn't go to no pro rodeos, like just away from it. And then come back and rodeo and make the national finals healing. That's
And
something.
win it.
Yes, and winning, and that's something. And he's one of those guys that's really respected out here. All those guys kind of look up to him, ask him for advice. He's straightforward. He's just a good guy. There's not anything you can say bad about him. But for him to do what he did, it's pretty special.
I think not that many people have access to be able to, visit with you, and I hope you won't be mad at me to bring it out, but to me, okay, you made it here 15th this year, and Coulter ended up 16th, and I was watching on TV that right at the end of the regular season, San Bernardino, and I think there are a lot of people who probably don't understand exactly how that went down. You were with your buddy team, Eric Rogers and Paul Eves, right? Only this time, usually you guys rope first, is that right?
Yes, this whole year we had, the PRC has a buddy system where you can enter the team roping with another team, where you could travel together, you could enter together, you can work everything together for whether it's traveling, it's just for expenses, cut expenses on some certain things. So we buddied them all year, and Paul Eves, he takes care of the entries. So when he enters us in every rodeo, he gets to go second, because that's just kind of the rule. If you do the entering,
That's your reward.
yeah, if he does the entering, we're going to go first every time, and they go right behind us every rodeo, But the very last rodeo of the year, San Bernardino, one of the guys, I think it was Paul, didn't have enough rodeos, so he didn't enter San Bernardino. So just Coulter and I entered. But something else happened. He got a rodeo back from somewhere, but he got to go through the late entries to get in San Bernardino to walk up place. So it happened to be that the walk up place team that turned out was right ahead of Coulter and I, and Paul and Eric got that spot. So throughout the whole year, there was the very last rodeo they got to go before us, and we got to go behind them. So anyway, it comes down to the last rodeo of the year, San Bernardino, Sunday night. Paul was ahead of Coulter about $30. So it was just pretty much between Paul and Coulter. So Rogers and Paul, they go first. They made a really good run. I don't remember, 5-some, 4-9. They made a good run. So we come right back the next team, and we just had to beat them to get Coulter in. And didn't work out.
Okay, but they Rogers and Eves made a really great run. They took the lead of the whole rodeo. So you literally had to win the last rodeo of the regular season to get Coulter in.
Yes, but we just had to beat one team. There was only one team on our radar. If they ended up 8th place, we just had to win 7th. So we were only focused on one team. It didn't matter what anybody else did. It was the bad part about it, the whole thing is we were all friends. We've been in the rig all year together. We slept next to each other. We ate to each other. We did everything together all year, and it comes down to the very last rodeo, and we were against each other. It was a little bit awkward, but it was also kind of funny. And it was just like, I don't know, it was like the movie, was a Lonesome Dove, where they hang Jake Spoon for whatever. It's kind of like, I'd rather be hung by my friends than a bunch of strangers. So it was kind of like that. I'd rather get beat by those guys than somebody else. So it was fun. But it was kind of awkward a little bit, but it was fun. It was a win-win situation, really, if you really think about it, because we either were going to do good and beat them, or they were going to win it, and they were our team. If there was anybody else that we wanted to win other than ourselves, it would have been them. So it was fun.
How do you get, so for the no spinners out there, Derrick, you guys, headers and heelers, win the same money together, right? Technically, almost all year. Is that correct? So how does it seems like it's hard for maybe some of the fans to understand, how does that get off? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you be out if he was out? Can you help explain that to the fans? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
The world standings, you might have the same exact money and be in a different place in the world standings. I mean, there's different, or you could have filled in somewhere for somebody.
But you had to win separate to get there, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, Coulter and I, we roped that all the rodeos all year, so our money was the same. So as Rogers and Paul, I believe their money was the same. But what threw everything off was, I believe, Jonathan Torres, the guy I'm roping with now. He started the year with a different partner and did good throughout the winter and stuff. Anyway, he switched partners and got a different partner. So Jonathan is the one that put the odd deal in the healing side. So there was one guy that was Jonathan that was ahead of everybody else.
Bumped everybody down.
Everybody
Got
down.
it. That makes sense.
So that's
that
how.
makes sense. Most people don't understand
Yeah.
that. They're like they're a team.
Then Jonathan's the one that, ropes with Begay here, instead of Coulter. I mean, and by the way, Jonathan's roping great here.
Yes, Jonathan's doing good.
How does that work? I mean, do you guys? Because it's got to be a little bit of an emotional connection with team roping partners, right? They kind of have each other's hearts, and then you got a new guy. Does that bond? Do you guys latch onto each other, or do you just do business? Does that make sense?
For me, in this situation, it was more than business because Coulter's my best friend. We're not out here for business. Rodeo, it's never really been a business to me, and it's not really a business to him because I know that. So it was beyond that. It was more about friendship. So the bond was as high as it can get, I believe. So letting my best friend down, it was a pretty big letdown for me anyway.
I see. Yeah.
Coulter did not see it that way. Coulter was like, he said, I had complete and total peace. I kind of felt like this is how it was going to go. When he was riding out the arena, he was good with it. And he said, I feel like, I ranch for a living. These other guys needed to make it more than I did. This is just how God wanted it to go. And he was completely good with it.
That's cool.
Of course he'd love to rope here.
Well, yeah,
but,
I understand that.
I'd like to speak a minute about modes of transportation because I've seen you wheel into the NFR in an old rusty stock trailer, and I've seen you ride a bike at Reno. I've seen you ride a mini bike at Salinas, and this year you pull in with a mule, John Henry, who has kind of stolen the show. And my deal about this is like, you're cool to bring a mule to ride in the Grand Entry, but you're the coolest to let somebody else steal the thunder, take the spot.
That's John Henry.
There's John Henry and there's Zeke Thurston, and you got to tell it with your own words how this happened that the bronc rider's on your mule.
That mule, I wanted to bring him last year just for the Grand Entry. It all kind of started with our buddy team, with Rogers and Paul and Coulter. We were like maybe in Ellensburg kind of the end of the year, and we were all sitting pretty good. We just kind of had to finish the year out to make the finals, so we were kind of planning on just talking about the NFR and stuff. And I don't remember what happened, but a mule came up. Why don't we ride mules in the Grand Entry? I'm like, a mule? But I was for it because I had one. Like, yeah, heck yeah.
I got John Henry.
Yes. So anyway, Arizona, there's Eric Rogers, Coulter, and I. We ride for the state of Arizona. And Coulter don't have a mule. Eric Rogers don't have a mule. But they're like, okay, we'll get some, they said. Coulter, he wasn't on board. He's like, no. Eric, he's, heck yeah, like just kind of really. So, all right, okay, all right. So anyway, the NFR is starting to get closer, and they're still planning on riding mules. So I was ready. You got to have 2 different kind of vaccine shots. You got to have health papers and coggins for your animals to get on ground. And I got all my paperwork done. I didn't know you can get coggins on a mule. I got all that stuff done. Anyway, they backed out. So, and I was like, I'm still going to take my mule. I'm still going to take him. Got closer and I chickened out. The reason I chickened out is just, the main thing is, it's kind of embarrassed. I don't know. I mean, a mule is kind of I don't think it would be very good to bring a mule to Las Vegas, just to be around those type of people, those type of other horses, the environment. I was like, no, that's silly. That is not going to be good to bring a mule here and walk him across the parking lot. And it's kind of been embarrassing. Like if it was at a hunting event or like a ranch rodeo or where there was like working cowboys around, I wouldn't mind, because mules guys actually use them a lot for work or for hunting, or they're around them a lot packing. They're used to being around them, so it's not unusual to see a mule. But to bring them around here in front of like all the calf ropers or the barrel racers or those types of people, I probably think I get looked down at. So anyway, that's the reason why I didn't bring them the first time. I was just embarrassed. So this year come around again, and I said, I got to take him. So I bring him. I got this kid helping me, Mexican kid, shorter, just... Anyway, so we get here, unload the mule. I said, here, you take this mule. I don't know you. You go that way. I'm going to take my rope horses, and I'm going to go this way. I mean, it's true. I was kind of like, just hoping no one was around. And so he gets the mule. I put my horses up. We put the mule up. And so that's where it all kind of started going. And then Wednesday, the day before the rodeo, I had grand entry practice. And I was still embarrassing my mule. I was like, man, I need to practice on him. I need to get him around, get him deal. Like, man, I'm too embarrassed to be on him. No. So the grand entry rehearsal was going on, and we're right next to Canada in the lineup. And the whole time I've been thinking, man, I wish I was on my mule just to get him used to all this. So I told Zeke, I said, hey, I got a mule. Anyway, as soon as I said mule, he looks up and says, I'll ride him. And I was like, so glad. Like, okay. So that's where it started. And then the next day, the rodeo day, and that was really embarrassing then, because I knew I wasn't riding him. I still had that Mexican kid. He looks perfect on him. I mean, a mule Mexican kid, like, he looks, I mean, they look like they were together for their whole life. So the next day, the rodeo starts, rodeo day, and the Mexican's still on his own. I'm still over here. I said, saddle him up before I saddle my horses. So he saddles him, he goes, rides him off, and I catch up to him later, and grand entry's getting ready to start, and the rough stock riders, they're all in their locker room. They got their horses all waiting for them on top, and they all walk up to the moat, the lane, to get on the horses. And here comes Zeke. He still doesn't know I got this mule, because it was just a 10-second agreement. I got a mule, yeah, I'll ride him. And that was it. He was probably thinking I was kidding or so. So he comes up the deal. I didn't tell no one. The only guy I told was Tyler Kraft, the horse that Pickup Man, that Zeke's supposed to ride his horse. I told Tyler, I said, hey, Tyler, I got this mule for Zeke that I want him to ride tonight. He's supposed to ride your horse, but I'm going to make him ride this mule. I said, but don't tell him. He said, okay. So just so he knows that his horse...
But to be clear, Tyler Kraft, who works for Calgary Stampede, and they've only given a pickup horse of the year 2 years, the last 2 years, and he's won it on 2 different horses both years. To be clear, Zeke Thurston turned out the pickup horse of the year to get on the mule. Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's correct, because in the grand entry rehearsal, he was on that nice buckskin. I think it's obviously Tyler's best horse. And Zeke's he's the front runner for Canada. He's the man. He's the biggest
Carries
guy.
the flag.
Yes, and everybody, when he walks through, they move aside for him. So he comes up the lane and he sees this mule, and it was funny just to see the look on his face. He was surprised, happy, not sure, whatever, just everything in his face. I could see it. And I didn't say nothing. All I did was, here you go. And he just gets on. I mean, he crawled right up on that mule, and I didn't say anything. I stayed out of it. I was still ashamed of him, like, I don't know you almost.
What is John Henry? Is John Henry not? I mean, you can't be ashamed of. If
You're not ashamed at home on the desert.
You're not ashamed. Yeah, when you need him. What? Poor John Henry. Why are you?
Yes, I'm not ashamed of him. It's around a certain type of people that I'm ashamed of, like working, hunting, outdoor, those kind of people.
Do we have the mode of? I wanted to show mode of transportation.
At
You
home.
brought that. Well, I wanted to throw this up there. Let him find it. But you use him at home. He's still trying to find it.
Yeah, it's in here.
But can you rope on him?
Yeah, he could rope on him, but he's.
How would he score?
He'd score good because he probably just standing. No, he's not very good to rope on. He's not very good to rope on, but I don't got him for roping.
Modes of transportation. My favorite picture. Like, to me,
That's Derrick Begay.
that's Derrick Begay right there.
Yeah.
You still got that pickup?
No.
Oh, you sold it? You still loading horses in the back to take them to go somewhere?
I got one that's a little bit more modern than that one.
Okay, I have a question. Did you ever have one moment's pause? Remember the year that they were going to do a really cool, catchy opening, and they bucked Patrick Smith off in the opening? Did you ever? Does John Henry have any buck in him? Did you have any like, oh gosh, I could get sued? I bucked the guy off, and remember? Well, who was it? Wade Sundell had to be removed from the NFR a few years ago because he got bucked off in the Grand Entry. Remember that?
Yeah, got injured, right?
Yes. I've had that mule for a few years now, and he's never bucked one time. I'm not saying he won't, but he's never bucked one time. The only thing I was afraid of is in that Thomas and Mack, on the side of the arena, they have the electronic banners where they change electronically. That was the only thing I was afraid of. I was thinking, the only thing that crossed my mind that he might do bad is he might come out the lane, you got to make a little go around the flag girl, come along the fence, and the banner would change. And I was thinking, the only thing that I see could go wrong was it change, and he'd run off the other way. That would be the only thing, but that arena is so small, and those mules, or he can't run very fast anyway. So I was thinking, what's the worst that could happen? It's not like he can go anywhere. I mean, he might go through the crowd, but on him, the only thing that I could say go wrong with him is he would run off. That would be the only thing. But other than that, I wasn't worried about him at all.
Okay. You on the, you kind of prefer, I don't know, humble, I don't even know if that's right, with the lifestyle. You're staying somewhere where you can cook your own breakfast, right? Here. What do you make for breakfast every morning?
My mom, she cooks breakfast every morning. Right before I got here, she fried some bacon, hash browns. She put the bacon and the hash browns together, scrambled some eggs, and she made some fresh tortillas, and I had a Coke.
From scratch? Tortillas?
Yes, from scratch. So that's she cooks breakfast every morning, all the mornings I've been here. So that's the key to Las Vegas is when you get a motel room, try to get something with a kitchen, bigger refrigerator and a cooktop where in the mornings you could have breakfast, sit around, drink coffee. And we're next door to the room we got at the Signature. Mom and Dad got the master bedroom, nice bedroom, big bathroom. My little girl and I, we have the middle part. It's just the couch with the kitchen. Since I've been here, I've been sleeping on the floor every night. You know, the pull-out couches. We pulled that out the first night, and it wasn't very comfortable. It was like that. It was terrible. So the second night, me and my little girl, we jerked it out and put it on the floor. So since the second night, we've been sleeping on the floor every night. And then my sister and her husband and my nephew JP are in the room next door, and they're all kind of connected. So it's kind of sort of a house, and we eat breakfast together, hang out together, get ready before the rodeo together. So it's
Family.
there's no other way to do it than that.
When you were up with Petska, was it a one-off deal? There were times when you pitched a tent and camped in a teepee, not a tent, a teepee. You pitched a teepee at rodeos. Have you done that anytime lately?
No, the reason I've done that is Sherry Servey has a lot of animals, dogs, cats, chickens, whatever, and she always has them in the rig, and I'm not a fan of dogs in the pickup or in the trailer. I'm not a fan of any of that. But I can deal with it. I don't say I'm not going to go, or I don't cause any problems with that. I mean, I can do it, but I prefer not to. But she has all kinds of stuff. I mean, then horses. So things get tight in her rig sometimes. So I decided to bring my little teepee, and I stayed right outside the rig, and it's nice, a lot of room, no dog hair. So
I feel like you, Eric Rogers, and Aaron Sinigini have given a lot of kids on the Navajo Nation and everywhere something to really look up to, and I feel, I mean, I don't know, people look up to you just because of who you are and how you conduct yourself. It's, I mean, the roping, yeah, you've picked up at the PBRs and any kind of cowboying is Derrick Begay, but do you feel, you guys have made it to the bright lights. Do you feel, are there things that you tell young people now who look up to you and wonder, can I do it? I mean, he could do it. Can I do it? I grew up here too. I mean, do you talk to a lot of kids like that?
no, I really don't. I mean, yeah, if they ask, I tell them.
You're a role model. There's no way around that.
You kind of got to more like show it, because I always think back when I was wanting to be one of those guys, or I was wanting some sort of people to look at. I always just looked at people, what they wear, how they walked, how they conduct themselves, how they talked, or what kind of tack they used, or how they approached things. I always just watched. So I try to, I mean, they say, I've been working my whole life to build an image, or the image that I got. And it's hard. It's hard trying to be a role model. I mean, I don't want to be, but there are people that are looking up to me, or kids, and I got to do my part. But as far as like saying stuff to them, I do. I mean, it's hard to say stuff to certain people unless they come up to you and ask you, or unless you kind of know them on a personal level, because it's kind of hard nowadays to see where these kids are coming from. So you kind of gotta want to, you only have a little bit of time to look at them, to see where they come from, who they are, to try to tell them something that they can remember. You can't just tell them stay in school, or you can't just tell them to be good. Like, there's something that you have to try to magically click with them just in the short amount of time you're with them. And I try my hard to think of something really fast to tell them. But they're watching you. They're watching you. Like somebody told me the other day, a good friend of mine, he said, travel the world, preach the gospel, and try to use words if you have to. He told me that a week ago. I said, you know what? I like that. I like for somebody to go out there, do whatever they want to do, travel the world, see all kinds of stuff, meet all kinds of people, do everything you want to do, and then also preach the gospel and then use words if you have to. And that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, I think the thing about it is people respect you because what we all realize is you're the same guy, right? Whether you're out front, in back, in the grocery store line, and that's living it. And I agree with you. There's one thing to say what you are. It's another thing to be that person all the time.
We all look up to Derrick Begay for sure. Begay is somebody who pays attention to all of rodeo. So I think we should spend more time today. Yesterday we tried to whip through the rodeo from the night before in 3 minutes, and we shouldn't do that because this is a guy who he watches it all. I think up front we should mention. It was hard to watch Donna Cabrol last night. She got mugged out, and she, coming in the arena. It's the second thing that's happened. Do you get to see any of the barrel race, by the way?
Yes.
You do? So, okay, the other night, she was on a gray horse. I don't even know the horse's name, but the horse stumbled on the first barrel. The reins came over its head. The bottom line is she had no reins, and I don't know why, but the gate was wide open, and there she went out the arena with no reins. That was tough. Last night, she was on Valor, her past horse of the year, and they come up an alley and then they go to make that corner, and her left leg, the turn was too sharp, and she got jerked down hard. And the Justin medicine said, she cut her head, she sprained her left ankle, and she hurt her sacrum, which I had to look up what that is. It's a large triangular bone at the bottom of your spine.
Tailbone. It's called the tailbone.
Okay, it's tailbone.
That's that pointy thing.
You should know what a tailbone is. So anyway.
It hurts. By the way,
I know. I hurt my tailbone one time, and it's very, very, very painful.
Yeah, I got hooked in the tailbone one time, and let me tell you, you can't do any bodily function without a tear. Like it affects everything. Sneezing, you can imagine.
We don't know how
it's connected to everything.
Sore she is right now, but everybody has a heart for her. And they also said that Carly Otero got kicked as of last night. That horse looks very hard to ride, and she's riding with a cracked pelvis now. Do you see these people out back or not so much? Do you know Carly?
Carly, yeah, I know her. She's about that thin. That's got to hurt. I mean, barrel racing's rough if you're sound. I've been around the barrels not the high rate speed that they go, but it looks smooth. Or anyway, the horse I was probably riding wasn't, but it's rough. I mean, those horses are strong, and they make it look like it's smooth, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. You can't just be I'm sure it has to hurt whatever they got going on.
I mean, the pelvis connects everything, right? I can't imagine that flexing.
And that horse Carly rides looks especially hard to ride from the cheap seats. That horse is wide open, right?
Yeah, that horse is strong, a lot of power, but she's doing good for just whatever she's got going on now, and I think she's going to finish the next 2 rounds. I think she'll be okay.
They showed her x-ray on the broadcast last night.
I saw that, and it looks like there's like a zipper that goes down.
I think that's her jean zipper.
I know.
but it looks broken, not.
She's got a zipper in her, and they must have zippered her up.
I just thought it was an interesting x-ray with the zipper. Before we get into the events, I think it jumps out at me that our world all-around race is pretty interesting. I mean, Shad Mayfield, Shad Mayfield's first, Junior Nogueira is second, Coleman's third. Shad's $1,000 ahead of Junior, and Junior is $1,000 ahead of Coleman. I mean, it's the all-around race. The fact that the all-around is going back to the timed event end, do you like that?
Yeah, I'm a timed event guy. I think the average is going to play a big role in the all-around race there at the end. I'm always for the guy that comes in the lead. Shad, he's had a great year, and he's tripped some steers and did some heading, and I hope he wins it, but he should if he does his job.
I feel like it's been interesting because a lot of people have felt like, okay, he came in the lead in the all-around and the tie-down, and a lot of people are like, well, where's Shad been? But like seeing Fred Whitfield a couple days ago, and they're, kind of a little team here, he's not concerned at all. He's like, we're playing the long game, and he feels like Shad's gotten by some. There was that one black calf that was off to the left really slow that went again last night, and he's done a really good job of not panicking, right? I mean, he hasn't made any major mistakes.
I wouldn't say he made any major mistakes, but he just hasn't what they call it just hasn't run through one. Nothing's just been smooth for some reason. Most of it's probably not his fault or what he's doing. It's just the way things are going. I mean, I've been watching every night, and I see Shad before the rodeo kind of, I know what he wants to do. And then when he goes out there and it doesn't happen, I see him after he ropes again, and man, he's trying so hard, and that's the thing a lot of guys don't see in the stands. What guys look like before they rope and how bad they want to do good, and then they go out there and it doesn't work, and then they go back in the back, and man, they're let down. They're having a hard time, and people are trying to cheer them up, and they're wanting to do good so bad. So I see all that, and Shad, I mean, if there's anything, he maybe is just trying too hard. That would be the only thing.
The thing I feel like Shad has kind of spoiled us. He's such a gifted athlete, and there are plenty of times throughout the whole year that there might be a glitch or two, one little thing here or there, but he keeps moving forward, and he'll win around with a hiccup.
Yeah, so we got 2 nights left, and Shad's still, and then the calf roping side, I'm not sure how that's going to work, but all around he should win it if he does his job.
Shall we start rolling through the events so we don't?
Sure. Well, there's a couple little things that I thought was interesting. Brittany Posey-Tanazi, people are kind of like, where's Brittany? It is interesting that she won $80,000 at the Oklahoma City Futurity on the 12th. So there's a big Futurity in Oklahoma City. So she's still out there.
Also, isn't Andrea Busby winning the average on a horse that helped Brittany win the world last year?
She bought that horse from her, right? Or did she buy her? Or no?
I think Busby's owned the horse.
Oh, they did?
And Brittany was riding him. Do you know anything about that?
That sounds right. I don't know it, but that sounds right.
I think that's right, but I feel like Busby Quarter Horses is very, very famous, and they have multiple horses here that have come out of their program, and it's pretty cool to see the owner, get to enjoy that.
And the other thing I thought I would just bring up, because I think it's interesting, they paid out $2 million at the team roping south of town. All these ropings and all-in barrel racing. Isn't it cool, though, including the NFR, how much money is actually can be won right here? Like it's, we've always like, well, a guy hits a golf ball for $1 million, but when at some point I want to try to gather all of the prize money, right, for this in this area, in Clark County.
It's incredible. And an old timer, well, he's probably not that old, came up to Otna yesterday and was saying, just a few short years ago, I brought my kid here to rope in Roy Cooper's junior roping, and there were like 12 kids in it or something, and it was literally the only junior event in town. Now they're everywhere, right? The Junior World Finals for starters, but there's opportunity for kids here. I don't know what the running tab is now with Speed Williams' daughter. I mean, she's an adult now, but a very young adult. What she's won in the breakaway out here, including the week, she won $115,000 the week before we got here. But her total, I can't wait to see what it is by the time we leave town.
Well, that Dusty Lynn Hall, that 10-year-old, she's got almost $1 million in career earnings. 10 years old, barrel racer. So it is cool. Shout out to Jamie Brown Royce roping over here in the junior.
We love Jamie Brown. Okay, so do you get to watch the bareback riding? Dean Thompson was 88 last night on Preferred's Dusty Roads. Is the name of the horse. Pete Carr owns the horse. Do you get to watch the bareback riding?
They have a little TV screen inside the warm-up arena where you warm your horses up. We get done with the grand entry, then we kind of just walk around, lope our horses. There is a screen in there. So I do, yes, I watch it, but not enough to remember really what was what, but yes, I do watch it. I try to watch everything.
The good news for me was that Rocker didn't look like he got knocked out
Right.
in that round. Like I was
Because we
watching.
think he's maybe been knocked out twice this week.
That sure looks
think.
like it, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he went through that ride, he's still sitting on top of 365,000 points, about 30,000 ahead of Bradley Miller. So, every race this year, I mean, with the exception, I guess, of the barrel race, like it's not over, right? Is there any one that you could just say, well, we'll get through it. We'll go through. So
Not
anyway.
that I'm aware. And now we're starting to get these special what-if sheets. Like if it ended today, so that's kind of fun. In the steer wrestling, it was cool. Kind of speaking of Andrea Busby riding one of their horses, it was fun for Ty Erickson to win around on his own horse that he owns, the Horse of the Year, Crush. Now Crush has taken them to the buckle presentations. Guys
Three
going
guys.
around. All three guys, Rowdy Parrott and J.D. Struxness and Ty now have all won around. They've won over 250,000 on that horse here this year. He just stands in there. That horse would be great, whatever event, correct? I mean, do you watch that horse? He's cool cat, and he runs, starts hard, flat, right?
Well, it's probably the event right before his, so he's probably focusing on his game at that
You
time.
can surely head on Crush.
And not everybody knows every lineage of every horse. You do, but not everybody does. I got to give her a little hard time there. Do you know the horse? You can say no.
Yes, I know the horse.
Okay.
I'll sneak up there and I'll watch the steer wrestling right behind the healing box and stuff. And we also have a screen back in the tunnel back there too. So we all watch and we try to keep track of who's doing good. But yeah, that horse does stand there and is ready every night.
If it would have ended last night, Will Loomis would have been the champ. Had they paid out the average and everything as it stood, of course, we're a long way from it being over. So now let's go to your event. So last night, Driggers and Junior, 3-4. That's one tick away from the arena record. Did you ever get to see a replay of the run? Or where were you? You roped before they did. So
Yeah.
do you get to watch any of the rest of the teams?
Yeah, we roped right before they did, and we watched them back up on the screen. But yeah, the team roping, I've lost track of it. Especially, I haven't been doing very good myself, so I just don't even look at it. But those guys every night, the top three guys, one wins a round, the other two miss. The next night, two guys win a round, one miss. It's been going back and forth, so I kind of lost track on who's supposed to win it.
I do know that had it ended last night, T. Wade and Wesley Thorpe would be the champs if they paid the average off. But okay, so still, Clay Smith and Colby Payne are the only team that has caught 8 now. So if you're them, I mean, you don't want to get left in the blocks, I guess. But if you're them, what are you thinking right now?
I was them last year. It seemed like maybe coming into ninth round, Coulter and I were the only team to catch 8. So last night we got done. We're having some snacks at the bottom with Clay Smith, and I said, "Man, you're in a good spot." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Try to break the barrier and try to catch every night." That's what I'm going to do. I said, "Yep, you're right." So that's his mentality, and he knows it. And I see them catching 2 more, but he's going to, you hear it all the time here. People say, if you miss the barrier, it's hard, it's hard. It's true. So Clay Smith, he's going to try to be on the barrier and try to get a time the next 2 nights.
And to be clear, they had 15 seconds worth of penalties last night. He did break the barrier, and Colby did rope a leg, but it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance he could have been on the barrier
Right.
too, but you don't want to get behind here in that arena. So I see him catching 2 more. They should get 2 more times, and they should win the average.
I feel like Coleman is roping out of this world.
Lights out.
Oh.
He looks like he's really he's always having fun though, but doesn't he look? He looks like he's just kind of.
I love how Heisman, that bay horse, shakes his head in there, and Coleman just laughs at him. It's kind of like when Sister's running down the alley with Haley, is shaking her head, and but him and that horse, they have a thing in this building, don't they?
Yeah, Coleman, he's roping for a lot of things right now. I mean, obviously for himself, and he has a partner, but there is the all-around championship on the line, and he knows he has to win. So I think that's probably what helps him more than anything, is that he knows he has to win, and he knows he's good enough that he can do it.
They also know that Stetson Wright's coming back next year. And so it might look just completely different, right? I mean...
Yeah, you put Stetson in that mix, that changes it up a little bit. All right, we got 10 minutes left. Let's keep rolling.
Okay, so Ryder Wright, 88 points on Kadoka Kool-Aid of Corco's. So, Kadoka, have you ever been to Kadoka, South Dakota?
No.
Okay, it's kind of near Wall, and Wall, South Dakota. Have you ever been to Wall, where there's like this? I don't even know how to explain it, but there's
there a wall?
This little town, Wall, South Dakota. It was like kind of near where Oat grew up in the middle of nowhere in scenic South Dakota in the Badlands, but he's taken me there, and they're this big claim to fame is that they have free ice water, and so for weary travelers,
free ice water.
Free ice water, but the Wall, humble.
I think they have that everywhere.
Oh no. Sometimes in Arizona and New Mexico, when you stop at a cafe, they will bring you a glass of water with no ice in it, right?
But Wall.
You've been there.
Okay. Oat, who won his first gold buckle here when it moved here in '85, he won his first buckle of his life at the Wall Junior Rodeo, and he took me there to show me, and he won the all-around for placing in the steer riding and the barrel racing. And did you ever barrel race?
Yeah, junior rodeo, I barrel race a lot.
Really?
Every time.
Did you flag race, pole bend, any of that?
If boys were allowed to, yes, I done it.
That's awesome.
I wasn't good at it, but I done it.
What about the bronc riding, Begay? What do you think?
Yeah, but you have a guy you like that you hang out with, like one of those that's...
Yeah, every contestant has guys we like. I mean, I do. I mean, there's guys I naturally pull for first just because that's just the way your body is. And then after that, I'll start picking stuff. But, I mean, obviously this week, Zeke, I mean, what did he win? 5 world championships, and he's been the guy.
He's won 4 world titles and 5 Canadian titles. So he's hot on Billy out Bear's Trail because Billy's got 5.
And then he's riding my mule, so every night before the Grand Entry, we talk, see what horse he has, and so I have a kind of a connection with him, so I know him kind of behind all these papers and personally. So yeah, Zeke, he's kind of my guy.
You know, I thought, I don't know if it would surprise people because I don't think we've talked about him one time, but if it had ended off and the average had been paid out after last night, Wyatt Casper would be the world champ.
Yeah, he's up by 6 points in the average. There's just so many numbers to look at, right? It's just true that everything can change. But I have a quick question. It seems to me, what do you think, Derrick? Do you think being ranchy helps you on the timed event end or the rough stock event? Like, because my question was, what's the ranchiest bronc rider you think that's out there? I don't think it's probably Zeke. I don't know if I'd call him the ranchiest.
I don't know. I've seen Zeke out in the middle of a pretty cold, wide open Canadian prairie.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a ranchy? What do you think? Do you think it'd be better on the timed event end to be a little ranchy or on the rough stock end? Or do you think it's even?
I think it's better to be it, no matter what, whatever you are, a banker or anything. I mean,
that's true.
Anything you can be to understand animals, whether it's a bucking horse or a roping steer or just, I think what helps the most out of all of that is just the hard work that goes all throughout all that stuff you do every day. It just makes the guy hard-headed.
Well, I mentioned to him before the show that I love when he comes and ropes bulls at a PBR event that I'm doing, and it's because he savvies cattle, right? And there's a lot of good ropers out there that have a lot of good horses, not taking away anything from any of the the bull dragger outers or escorts, whatever they call them now. This guy he just savvies the bull, right? He just got cow sense. So I think you're right. Ranching's important in all of it. I just think maybe, I don't know. All right, keep going.
Okay, so the first few rounds, Marty Yates and Ty Harris, they split the round 8. They were both 7-3. We've talked earlier this week or whatever that both the Harris brothers are riding old Peso of Dustin Bird's the little buckskin who's got this building figure out, kind of like Coleman's Heisman. Fun for me personally. It was hard. Just little things kept happening to Marty for the first. He finally got his first check for 6th in round 7. Little things kept happening. Little fumbles with his tie and different things. But for me, okay, for one thing, right before we came out here, there was a freak accident. The gray horse that Marty's been riding, that Hunter Heron had been riding, and then Marty Yates had been riding. There was an accident, and the horse had to be put down right before the NFR. So that's, it's a pretty tough deal. Well, that little bay mare, she's very personal to me. She belongs to Rusty and Chisholm Allen. And in 2021, when my son drove coast to coast to make the NFR from Salinas, when it was September, they had the tour finale, and drove to Maine, that little bay mare was in his trailer that drove to Maine. And her name's Rolex. Taylor calls her Lil Mama, but she's
stout, though.
She's something special. And so for Marty to have such a heartbreak right before coming here, he hadn't gotten to run a lot with her, but they got the one last night, and Lil Mama got to show what
I think he kind of said it all at the very end when he puts his hands up like this, kind of like, finally, right?
By the way, his aunt JJ Hampton is as fun to watch. When you watch Stetson Wright make a ride with Statler and Ryder from the stands, JJ, who when Marty was just a little fart knocker, she was out there, telling him what's up. It's fun to watch her up in the stands. Okay.
Riley's still in a commanding lead on 8-hand in the average.
He's got it feels just. It starts to feel almost meant to be sometimes, different weeks when we're out here. So Shelly Morgan got on that famous mare Kiss. She was first out, and she split the round with Cassie, Mowry, and Jarvis last night. So that was 5 straight go-round wins for Cassie.
I wonder what the record is.
Well, five consecutive.
Jimmy Monroe.
Yeah.
Right?
But I was you just keep talking about that.
I would be shocked if Corey Petska's mother, Gail, doesn't figure into this somewhere, because she had a little sorrel horse when I was a kid named Dobie that she brought, when they came to the Cow Palace, she brought to my dad to have his tail done or something. But they won a ton. They dominated like that.
Well, my No Spin secret agents out there sent me that it's obvious Cassie tied Jimmy Monroe's record for consecutive round wins, but 2 more chances. If she wins both, she'll tie Gail Petska's record for the most wins in a single NFR.
Oh.
So if she wins one, she would tie Gail for the second most wins in a single finals. But if she wins 2, so that's pretty cool.
How about me remembering that from my youth?
That's because you're a rocket scientist. Keep going.
Anyway. Everybody knows the touching story that's going on here with Cassie Mowry and losing her fiance who owned that horse right before that. So the bull riding. I'm finally going, Wasey Shalla, I have to say up front, Wasey Shalla, who's the rookie all-around of the year, he made the whistle and was 87 for the first time last night. It's been really difficult. I don't know him personally, but by the way, Hayes Waite won the round.
He broke his jaw right earlier and wired together. And I was reading that story. What do you do when you've got your jaw wired together and you got to throw up?
You have wire cutters with you, because I remember this from Ty Murray, because he had his jaw wired shut, and he was drinking milkshakes through a straw, but he carried wire cutters with him because you cut the wires. If
Well, you don't want fence cutters because you're not gonna was it small snips? I mean, this is okay. Well, I
I'm
just thought
saying,
that was interesting,
if you don't
right?
think Tandy Freeman isn't standing at the gate.
You got a Leatherman. Get that Leatherman out and pop that thing open.
But Hayes Waite, okay, so yes, he won the round. How many points was he?
88.
Okay, he was 88 points. So funny here last year, remember the pirate in the grand entry? That was Hayes Waite. And now we've seen a mule and a Grinch.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you guys on the Grinch because that's all fun. But anyway, it meant, I'm assuming Wasey Shala was second. I don't even have everything.
Wasey Shala was second with 87. TJ Gray and Josh Frost, 86. Ty in third.
Now's the point in the week where you start going, okay, I think there are still people here who haven't won a dime. And
yeah, but
that's,
I think a bigger news story is Josh is sitting there two-head ridden above everybody else in the aggregate at 7. He's ridden 7.
So,
that's a big deal.
So as close to, nobody's clinched yet a gold buckle, but would Josh and Cassie have to be the two that you'd say are looking
the best?
If he rides one more, he's pretty much got that.
He's untouchable.
He's got it. Yeah, he's not touchable. Well, we're out of time. Mr. Begay, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Any line off of Lonesome Dumb? I know it's your favorite movie that you want to send everybody off of. Favorite part of that movie? Mine was the rattlesnakes in the river. I can't get that out of my head. You?
No, I don't got no. We got 2 more days here in Las Vegas, and it's been fun. I was telling someone the other day, I said, you know what, this is the first time in 11 times I've been here. I've actually been enjoying it. The rodeo's actually been kind of getting in the way. Seems like just when it's fun, we got to get ready for the rodeo again. So it's been fun, but we get to go home in 2 days, and I can't wait. My wife's at home, and we're expecting a baby next week, and she didn't get to come this year, so as soon as that get done team roping Saturday night, I'm loading my horse and headed home.
And John Henry, don't leave him here.
Yeah,
don't let him
John
go to
Henry
Canada.
just because you're embarrassed about him.
A little bit proud of him now.
Thank you for joining us. It's been No Spin Rodeo. We'll see you tomorrow. Last one. Come back and see us.